you might have just stumbled on to a new Young Turks filibuster for the filibuster. Okay, let's get real. Let's roll up our sleeves. Chris Dodd today is going to start a filibuster in a little bit. It is an enormously important filibuster, and we are going to try to help that effort here at the Young Turks. Okay. Again, it might be in conjunction with Brave New Films, and it might be in conjunction with a lot of bloggers. We're going to have to see how it plays out. The reason I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen now with the filibuster that's happening today is because all the details on it have not been worked out, and B, they're in the middle of debating it right now on the Senate floor. And so we're going to keep you up to date on all of that as this day unfolds, so don't go anywhere. Okay. Now, I got to tell you, what is it, what's it all about, and why is it important? So let's do that first, and then I'll tell you who's on our side, who's against us. And we missed the last 3-4 days, and those are critical. We put up some segments up on our website and on YouTube explaining what Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi did in regards to this bill, slightly, and in regards to Iraq war funding. But let me give you the details. So, as you all know, President Bush and the Bush administration broke the FISA law. They now say over and over, yes, we broke it. Furthermore, we broke it so much we need immunity because we're lawbreakers. The 1978 FISA law, we took it, we crumpled it in the garbage and threw it away. And instead what we did was we went to the telecommunication companies and we said, hey, you know what? You need to hand over all of your private information about calls that people are making, not only outside of the country, but also from outside the country inside the country. We already found out that through a revelation earlier in 2005 from the New York Times. And then they said, oh, no, but we were tracking terrorists from outside the country, and this is related to terrorism. Well, as we'd already known, but finally the New York Times wound up realizing it over the weekend, and so now officially Washington can recognize that it's true. Turns out, of course, that they started this program before September 11th. So it had nothing to do with terrorism. In fact, what they originally started on, their original excuse, was about drug trafficking. The minute they got into office, they went to AT&T, Verizon, and all the other companies, telecommunication companies, and said, let us spy on all Americans. And important point number 2, not just international calls or international to U.S. or U.S. to international, purely domestic calls. So this illegal, warrantless spying on innocent Americans started from day one and didn't have a damn thing to do with 9/11. And all their claims to the contrary are flat-out lies. So, we got it, right? Here's the only problem. Democratic leadership is working completely in conjunction with the Republicans. It makes you want to lose your mind. I mean, how do you deal with these guys? I'm going to explain to you how Harry Reid has done everything in his power to help the Republicans, President Bush, and Vice President Dick Cheney. They cannot have a better friend in Congress than Harry Reid. The president wants this retroactive immunity. Who's going to help him? Is it the Republicans? Of course. They are all lapdogs. They go with the president instantly. Arlen Specter a little bit. I don't know. I think it's a bad idea. I mean, I'll vote with the president, of course, as always. But I don't love it. And some of the others are like, maybe, maybe not. But yes, will you vote with the president? Of course, always. What does Vice President Cheney say? Yes, I bow my head. I will do. Right? But I don't know if you guys remember this. The Democrats are theoretically in the majority in the Senate. So they don't need to go along with the president. They can say, no, not interested. We're going to give you the thing that actually is relevant to security, and we're not going to give you retroactive immunity for crimes you've committed. So are they going to do that? Of course not. First person to cave was Jay Rockefeller, Democrat of West Virginia. And Jello J. Rockefeller said, I'm head of the intelligence. Oh, yeah, they already gave me this intelligence, and I didn't do anything about it, so I'm kind of complicit. Let me cover my own ass. So I'm going to work with the Bush administration to give these companies retroactive immunity. And then he goes and lobbies and muscles people in the Intelligence Committee. And even though the Democrats control the Intelligence Committee, that committee votes 13-2 to include retroactive immunity to cover Bush's ass in their bill. But on the judiciary side, you have Leahy and actually Arlen Specter, who's the Republican leading person on the Judiciary Committee in the Senate, saying, no, we're not going to do that. no retroactive immunity. They passed 2 bills on the same exact issue, one coming out of the Intelligence Committee, one coming out of the Judiciary Committee. Now, Harry Reid is the majority leader, and he can pick which bill they're going to discuss first. Now, this is critical. Okay, listen to this. If he takes the Intelligence Committee bill and he puts it up first, then it is overwhelmingly likely to pass with retroactive immunity that protects the Bush administration. If he puts up the Judiciary bill first, that is likely to pass without retroactive immunity. Retroactive immunity that helps the Bush administration. So the difference is a 20-vote difference, because in order to block a bill, you need 40 votes on your side. In order to pass a bill, you need 60 votes. Okay, so it's which bill he puts forward first is critical. So what did Harry Reid do? Of course, he put forward the bill that helps the Bush administration first. I said, oh, yeah, rules of the Senate, and I want to give deference to the Intelligence Committee, and AT&T and Verizon contributed so much to my campaign. And I'm complicit with what the Bush, no, Senate rules. It's very important, Senate rules. My ass, Senate rules. He could have put up either bill just as easy. His lie about the Senate rules is nothing but a lie, okay? It's a lie. And he's putting it out there as, oh, no, I'm doing it because the Intelligence Committee bill actually came a couple of hours before the Judiciary bill, and I couldn't possibly violate that tradition of the Senate. First of all, of course you can. It's done all the time. Second of all, it's not even entirely clear that is a tradition of the Senate. Third of all, the Republicans, when they were in charge, threatened to get rid of the filibuster altogether, completely, utterly. And you're worried about which bill came a couple of hours before the other one? No way, man. You wanted the Bush bill to go first. And he does. Well, okay, now you say, how are you so sure? Well, I'll tell you how I'm sure. Because Senator Dodd said, he's the Democratic senator from Connecticut. He said, I'm going to go ahead and filibuster. I'm going to put a hold on this bill. Now, when a senator puts a hold on a bill, he can, if the majority leader doesn't go out of his way to make sure that that hold is lifted, that's it. That bill is not going to be considered. How do I know? Republicans do it all the time. Senator Tom Coburn from Oklahoma put a hold on this, hold on this, hold on this, hold on this. And you know how many times Reid recognizes those holds and respects them? Every single time. Senator Reid has never objected to a Republican hold on a bill. When a Democrat does it, Chris Dodd, he says, no, I'm not going to respect your hold on the bill. What happened to Senate rules? What happened to Senate rules? What happened to Senate tradition that you cared so much about? The man's got a hold on the goddamn bill. Nope, I love Bush so much, I'm not going to do it. Senator Reid is part of the enemy, okay?
I think it's very clear that we're not going to be able to move into these amendments. We have had a number of suggestions by a number of different people how we could move through this legislation. It appears quite clear at this stage that we can. I've spoken to a number of the senators, and everyone feels it would be to the best interests of the Senate that we take a look at this when we come back after the first of the year and resume this. I've spoken to, for example, Senator Dodd just a few minutes ago and have suggested, he and I have talked about ways to move forward, and I think that, of course, Senator Dodd always can speak for himself, but my feeling after having visited with him is that we would be better off moving on to this sometime when we come back after the holiday recess.
That right there might be
a sine die of this first year of this Congress. So unless something untoward appears, which I doubt extremely seriously,
we just won.
This is what we will do on FISA. That is, we'll take it up when we get back in January.
I see you on TV. They got you looking like a little bitch right now. So what you need to do is come back in here, straighten up, get in front of the mic, and act like, basically, man up a little bit. And
straighten your shit out, right?
I'm
correct.
Yeah, I said you're looking like a little bitch right now. Aren't you the Senate Majority Leader? He said, yeah. I said, well, shit. I said, they're doing you like this?
You're going to be the Senate Majority Leader, and you're going to get done like this.
And he's like, you know what? They're not going to fuck with me anymore.
Now, does that mean the liberals or the Republicans aren't going to mess with him anymore?
Hopefully, all the guys that whatever pressure he was having to do what he did.
Right. On the other side, yeah. All right, let's hope. Let's find out. Hey, listen, and this is not the time to let up, believe me, okay? Keep up the pressure, especially at Harry Reid's office. I mean, if there's anybody you want to pressure at this point in time, it's definitely Harry Reid. So keep up the pressure and tell him when we rejoin this fight for part 2 after, not after the commercial break, but after Christmas and New Year's and after the break, that this time around, come correct. Okay, we are perfectly willing to give the NSA the authority that they should have to listen from foreign to foreign calls that are routed through the U.S. That is 100-0 issue in the Senate. Every liberal blog, every conservative blog, every newspaper, everyone agrees to that. We will give you that every day, every night. But when you say, add on top of that, for no national security reason, immunity to people who have clearly broken the law, we're not going to do it. Homie, don't play that, okay? We're not going to have it.